You're never breathing again. Ah! Ah! Ah!
There!
Mark versus Conquest Part 2. Jesus. This was a shorter fight, but I don't know what to say. Is Mark okay? Like, is he still alive? I like, how in the world does Mark live through this? How? That's all I could think about after this whole fight. Conquest literally ripped out his organs, his limbs. I'm shocked he didn't rip out his heart. Like, what? Like, he ripped up his whole, like, nervous system, like, spine, you know? Like, all I know is a lot came out of Mark, and there's no, like, magic healer nearby. Like, I don't know, maybe the planet they landed in is gonna have some, I don't know, magical stuff that could help heal Mark. But other than that, other than some crazy plot armor that's very convenient happen, then Mark should be dead, right? Because, man, towards the end of the fight, all I could think about is Cecil fucked up. For real, he fucked up. Because he basically caused Mark to either die or almost die. And based on my knowledge, based on what I've seen for the past few seasons, Mark is the main character, and there's still a few more episodes until the season ends, so there's no way he just like dies right here. There's no way. But all I know is when he sees Cecil again, it's over. Because I feel like he's gonna know that he's the one that caused this 100%. But alright, let's do a deep dive on this fight. And yeah, just to let you know, I don't know how much I could really show from this fight. Like, YouTube is like very sensitive when it comes to certain scenes, and you know, they like to censor certain stuff. So I don't know if I could show all the blood and goriness of Mark's guts being taken out of him. So I could probably only show the parts that happened before that. But most likely, if you're watching this, you already seen the episode, so you already know what I'm talking about. But going back to the beginning of the fight, right? I will say this. Mark got stronger. He did. He got stronger since the last fight against Conquest. Because the last time they fought, this man Mark arm was breaking just from trying to punch Conquest. And now he's just doing a lot of damage without Eve. Like, technically, he sold Conquest. I mean, it almost cost his life. But still, you know. But at least we know that Mark has the strength of one of the strongest Viltrumites in the whole universe, right? Because Conquest, by default, I think he was like at least up there in one of the strongest in the Empire. So when it comes to power scaling, Mark is up there for sure. And especially if he's enraged and his emotions are involved, then hell yeah, he's up there. So I'm gonna give it to him. Like, technically he did solo Conquest. Like, no one else was really doing damage to Conquest. Like, yeah, Nolan got a few hits here and there, but it wasn't nothing significant until Mark literally decided not to let go and take whatever damage or whatever consequence just to strangle him. And he really stood on business. Like, when he told him, like, you're not gonna breathe ever again, like, he stood on business. I'll say that. Mark really is standing on business with that. Was it worth it? I don't know, because I'm assuming that he's still alive. And, well, of course, like, the last scene they were showing him, like, breathing still. But, like, still, to be that close to death in order to stand on business, like, that's crazy. And Oliver, he still needs to get older, and he still needs training for sure. I don't know how long it was. I think it was the last time he fought Conquest was like, what, 2-3 months ago, something like that. Yeah, Oliver still needs some time. He needs like another like 6 months to a year of growth, because he's not ready for the big leagues. Like the people in the Viltrumite Empire, like, these people are elite of the elite, like top of the food chain. Like, I don't know when Oliver could stand a chance to like hang on his own. because yes, he has his powers, but it's just not that matured yet, you know, like it's not fully developed to the point where he could really hang with the elites, you know? And he has time to grow. Like he still is like what, like maybe a teenager at most in terms of human years. But the fact that they need him to like grow now because his wartime, like it's now or never, because of that, it's like damn, like I kind of feel bad for Oliver because he's out there looking like a liability basically, just everyone having to protect him or watch out for him, at least for Mark and Nolan, right? Because Jesus, he basically ended up in the same situation, the same scenario as in the last season when it comes to versing Conquest. So I don't know, like at first I was like, yeah, Oliver should definitely come and join the war. But like now I'm like, damn, maybe Debbie and Mark was really onto something when they first mentioned that Oliver shouldn't join. Like I really don't know how much Oliver could truly help with the fight, at least in his current state. Like if he was able to join a little bit later as he like grew a little bit, then I probably would be in agreement more of him joining. But right now it's like it's not enough. Like based on this first fight, it's not enough. And it's hard to tell. Like I feel like this is just a taste of what's to come. Like this might be the easiest part. Like, you know? So if Oliver doesn't become like a full-on adult mid-war arc, then I just don't see him having a fighting chance. Truly. Like during the 2 weeks they're supposed to be on their way to home base, I see that Oliver was training with Alan, but yo, Mark should have been training with Oliver. And of course I know Oliver and Nolan is not in good terms, but man, Nolan, you should at least try to train your son. Like, of course, you didn't want him to be part of the war, but like, he's here now, so you might as well train the boy. But I hope nothing for the best for Oliver. I hope he takes this as like a learning lesson that he needs to like step it up and like everything is serious from this point forward. Like, he might not get this many second chances in Oliver, in Mark, or his father, Nolan, coming to save him. There might be a time where Mark and Nolan has to face like 3 or 4 Viltrumites all at the same time, and Oliver is like left alone against a Viltrumite, and it's like either you win or you die, right? There's gonna be a scenario like that, and he has to be ready when that time comes. Okay, so that was a long rant about Oliver. All right, let's go towards the end of the episode. I did not know or remember that there was a mole in the coalition. Like, you know, I didn't even know that. I'm gonna keep that in mind for the future episodes, because the way they said it, or I should say Titus said, it seemed like it was something that was revealed like last season. I just don't remember that, which is interesting because that's like the last thing they need. Right? That is the last thing they need. So I wonder what factor that will play in the future, especially with this war. Hopefully the mole is revealed this season. Probably gonna be revealed either in episode 7 or episode 8. We'll see. And watch how it's Alan's girlfriend. Watch. That'll probably be my prediction so far. Now, speaking of Alan, Zoe and Alan being on the Viltrumite ship. This is such a crazy turn. Like, Oliver and Nolan has to save Mark, and now Zoe and Alan are in a Viltrumite ship in a hidden mission trying to either escape or figure out their plans. I was not expecting that. I wonder how this adventure is gonna go. Hold on, backtrack. You know what? I think I'm like 80% sure it's Alan's girlfriend. That's the mold. And my only piece of evidence is the fact that she was so quick. Well, of course it was an emergency, and they were like, they had to let go and separate the bridge in order to escape. But like, I don't know, it's just the fact that there was no hesitation, you know? Because I don't even know if at the time they knew that it was because of a Viltrumite ship attacking them. I don't even know if they knew that. But the fact that she made such a quick decision to separate from everybody else, it just feels like a setup somehow. It just feels that way. I don't know. And then especially how they just knew their location like that. I don't know. Somebody in that ship is guilty. Somebody. And I think Zoe and Alan, during their time in the Viltrumite ship, they're gonna find out who the mold is. I believe that's what's gonna happen. And I bet it's gonna be Alan's girlfriend. I bet it. 80% chance. I promise you. But yeah, we'll see what's happening in the next episode, because the number one question, of course, course, you know what I'm gonna say. How the hell is Mark gonna survive this? What type of planet they landed on? That's probably what's gonna be what determines him living or dying. 100%. That's most likely the scenario. And plot armor is gonna play his role where they just happen to land in the planet that has like the elixir of life or something, you know? Watch out for my next video, by the way. That one is when I'm gonna make a deep dive on Nolan appearance on Earth with everybody's reaction, especially Debbie's. I gotta do a deep dive on that. And then of course Oliver, that's gonna need a deep dive as well. But this video is long enough, so that's why I really just wanted to make it as two separate videos. One with the fight against Conquest, the other one with Nolan coming to Earth. And what can I say? So far, Nolan's apology method is patched. At least on Earth, that shit don't work. I'll talk about it more in that video. So yeah, you let me know what you think about this fight. How the hell is Mark gonna survive this? What do you think about Oliver and his development? What are your thoughts on Conquest in this episode? He's always like a one and done episode type of villain. Like same with episode 8, just one and done. Bro does not know how to live for a long time. How do you feel about my theory on the mold situation? Do you feel like Alan and Zoe is gonna figure that out when they're in the Viltrumite ship? I think so. You let me know what you think about that as well. And you can give me your prediction on who the mold is as well. So yeah, let's have a discussion in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.